scamp, mangroves, yellowtails, some really nice quality fish, some big old red snapper, a nice blackfin tuna. Definitely a good quality catch here. A little bit of a tougher bite than we would like. Definitely a little bit slow and steady through the day, but picked around and ended up putting together a nice pile of fish. Keep in mind, this is a lighter load. We only had 29 anglers out there fishing this trip, so not quite as many people. Definitely lighter loads now that we're into July, and excited. Still catching some good fish, huh?
Yeah, we're still getting some good fish. We ran into new moon, very calm, very hot, doldrum weather this weekend, or this midweek trip, and just picked at the fish the whole time. We changed areas multiple times, and it didn't really matter. It was just a pick. They weren't going to fire, but we did decent on the mangroves at night. We had a couple guys get their limit of mangroves at night, and just kept on the red snappers and scamps all day. The scamps are out there pretty solid. There's a bunch that aren't on top.
There's some really big scamps in this pile, and I saw quite a few coming out of the box. It looks like you guys got some nice yellowtails too, huh?
Yeah, we had a good yellowtail sundown. We've been doing well in the yellowtails at sundown and sunup.
Nice.
And picked at the red snappers during the day. Probably threw back the biggest red grouper of the season.
Really?
This trip, yeah, a couple of them. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
And lost some big fish, but we're able to put a catch together.
Nice.
Got the tuna on a troller.
Oh yeah, on a Rapala or on a Nomad?
Jay, what was the tuna on?
A Nomad?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And hooked up another time on a troller and lost it. Just decent trip, great weather. Even had a decent anchor heading, but it was just calm and hot, and I had to work for the fish that we got.
The fish were kind of shut down a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
What about the mutton? Did you guys get any mutton?
No, we tried one spot in the mutton area, and I think maybe this weekend, either weekend or midweek next week, we're going to go after mutton.
I know the Flying Hub 2 came in the other day. They had 3 muttons on one stop, and they caught a couple more during the day. So seemingly, what would you drop down if you were trying to target one?
I like a frisky little pinfish on a mutton, but I've said this before, I see him get caught on weird things. Sometimes a mutton is very hard to catch, and sometimes he gets dumb and he'll bite an 8-aught hook with a chunk of squid, a square of squid on it. Not even a strip.
So you never know, huh? And, one of those things.
Yeah, but I like a light tackle rig for a mutton, but he's going to fight hard right when you hook him, so you got to be prepared for a run.
Yeah, they're going to take you to school.
Yeah, they run right when they bite. They're different than any other snapper as far as that goes.
What about these yellowtail? You guys got a lot of yellowtails if you're dropping down to target one.
Some people caught like 10 or 12 yellowtails and others caught none. And a lot of times it's the size of the bait or the bait itself. They like a small squid, a strip of bonita or mackerel's great. I had a few yellowtails. I knew they were yellowtails biting. I was missing them, but I was using thread fins, and they just sealed the thread fin right off of there. And I came back to the stern, and the guys had caught several.
Because they have such small mouths, they kind of pull off one side of the bait, huh?
Yeah, you miss a lot of yellowtails unless you're using something that stays on the hook well.
So something like squid or bonita, small strip, huh?
Small strip, and skinny enough where they can get it in their mouth. You don't want a big fat piece because he's got a skinny mouth.
That's a good point, good point. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate it, Will. And thanks for the update. Nice pile of fish here, bud.
Thank you.
Some really nice scamp. Some solid fish. Ooh. Definitely excited. We're going back after them tomorrow. Happy 4th of July, y'all. Definitely a beautiful day to get out there on the water. We got our 10-hour all day heading out here in a minute. We've got our 5-hour half day going out. Our Flying Hub 2 12-hour extreme trip went out a little earlier. They're crushing it on the extreme trip. If you want a chance to get out there and catch some of these red snapper, but maybe you don't have the opportunity to spend a whole weekend out in the water or 3 days during the week, remember these 39 hours are every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, or excuse me, Sunday, Tuesday, Friday. But we're definitely seeing a lot of fish on those 12-hour extreme trips too. The 12-hour extreme is catching limits of those red snapper. They're seeing big scamp, nice mangroves, big vermilions, yellowtails, nice muttons. Like I said the other day, they got 3 muttons on one stop. A lot of big scamp too. So the Flying Hub 2 12-hour extreme trips are great opportunities. We also have added a bunch of 12-hour extreme trips to the schedule, so there's a ton of availability I know this coming Saturday, there's open spots. Next week, I know Tuesday has tons of availability on the extreme trip. A lot of these Sunday and Tuesday 39-hour trips have a lot of availability too. So now that we're into July, people have kind of backed off, and it's not as crazy. So red snapper season still has plenty of opportunities to get out here. So if you want to go catch some red snapper, they're open till end of day, August 27th. We're seeing some nice mangroves, big yellowtails, a handful of muttons. We're seeing a lot of vermilions, almacos, porgies, a lot of other fish to go catch. Those blackfin tuna have been pretty prolific. So good opportunities to get out there on the water offshore. Near shore right now, we're focused on the lane snapper, nice mangrove snapper. We're seeing a lot of heads and tails mixed in there. Inshore right now, we're seeing a lot of snook, redfish, trout bite's been pretty steady. Around the docks, mangrove snappers where I'd be focused, or if you can make it out here early morning or into the early night or late night, I guess, like 3 a.m. to like 10 a.m., that is a good time to target the snook. Outside of that, I'd be targeting mangrove snapper. Unless you hit that sundowner, you might be able to get some snook there too. At night, around the bridge lights, dock lights, we're seeing a lot of trout, redfish, the occasional tarpon. A lot of sharks around right now too. So inshore, near shore, and off, good opportunities for some catching. We are on that new moon. That means we have a lot of tide moving, a lot of water moving. And keep in mind, we've got lots of other opportunities to get out there too. Dolphin tours, island trips, shelling. We do it all here at Hubbard's Marina. Hopefully, we'll see you soon inside John's Pass at Hubbard's Marina. Also, keep in mind, every Sunday night, you got an opportunity to win $1,500 in free fishing trips. Hopefully, you'll get a chance to come out and join us for a live stream show every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. We do that show on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Trovo, Twitch. So join us for a live stream show. Get a chance to win $1,500 in free fishing. That's right, y'all. Hopefully we'll see you out in the water. Tight lines. Happy Thursday, guys, and happy 4th of July. Hopefully you have a great holiday. Stay safe out there, and hopefully we'll see you on the water soon at Hubbard's Marina.